Now, we've all heard of the Tour de France, but should the opening stage or the Grand Départ be held in Portsmouth? Richard Gorman, who provided backing for the 2008 winners team, is joining me now in the studio. And Richard, you want it to be held here. Why?
The Tour de France is a massive event. I mean, anybody that went to Yorkshire in 2014 would understand just how big it is. Some people don't realise it's actually the largest spectator sports event annually in the world.
Wow.
And in terms of TV audience, it's third in the rankings behind the Football World Cup and the Olympics.
Oh my goodness, that's huge.
It is huge, yeah.
And so it's a bit like the Olympics, is it, where different places bid to get them and then somebody wins? Is it like that? Am I right?
Yes, that's correct. So what happens is the organisers like to hold it in alternate years. One year they'll hold it starting somewhere in France, and then next year they'll put it out to another country.
Okay.
So in recent years, it's been held in the UK.
Yeah.
It's been held in Holland. It's been held in France. It's obviously been held in France. It's been held in Spain as well, sort of thing. So I'd like to travel around. So the next opportunity for us would be 2019.
But we're up against some what might seem like stiff competition, I understand.
Yeah, that's right. It's likely to be cities like Florence that we're up against, which will be stiff competition. But I think Portsmouth has got an awful lot to offer, and there's a lot of things happening in 2019 that actually make it a very attractive package.
Okay, so let's imagine that I'm the person that makes the decision about whether we hold it here. Give me your pitch as to why Portsmouth should get it.
Well, I think there's a number of things. The first one is there's a great anniversary coming up, which is the 75th anniversary of D-Day, and there's lots of activity going on around that. The D-Day Museum is being totally refurbished, and that's due to be opened again in 2019. You've got the arrival of these two massive new aircraft carriers for the UK, so they're going to be in Portsmouth. You've got other things, there's potential, there's new hotels, there's lots of other stuff going on. So it actually makes a lot of sense for the tour to actually come here in 2019.
Okay, and I guess that, you can't be a one-man band. There must be other people that want this too. And what if there are people watching that think, oh my God, yes, this would be great. How can they kind of get behind you? Well,
I think the thing is, initially, we need to show the ASO, who are the organisers of the Tour de France, that Portsmouth is really passionate about cycling and passionate about the Tour de France. So one of the things that anybody watching this can do is sign up and say that they want the Tour to come. And I know that the News is actually running a campaign for people to do that.
Okay, and how can they sign up if people want to do that? Is it online or is it...?
If they go online to the News website, or they get a copy of the News, against any story that's coming up about the Tour de France, there's actually a cut-out and post sort of form they can fill in.
That's amazing. And do you know how many kind of people you need to kind of sign up to make an impact?
I think it's just what it is they just want to see the passion. So they want to see local cycling clubs get involved. They want to see the politicians get involved. They want to see people like me that have been around the sport get involved in it. They want to see a whole group of people come together and tell them why Portsmouth would be so great and why it would be so good to have it here in 2019.
And do you think you kind of have people's support or kind of the council's support?
Yeah, I think so. I think Donna Jones has been very, very keen. She's one person that's been very active in trying to make this happen. And there's also there seems to be a lot of cross-party support as well. So I really do think if all the sort of stars align and the money becomes available, then it will come to Portsmouth.
It's a good colour for cross-party support.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the actual yellow jersey.
Yeah, tell me about this.
From 2008, which was won by Carlos Sastre. So. Yeah, it's.
How come you've got a signed copy of it? Tell us a bit about that.
Well, it's obviously within the Tour de France, a yellow jersey is awarded every day, and there's 21 stages in the Tour de France. So obviously there's just not one. Well, it's not just one yellow jersey.
Is this
so there
one
are
of
a
the
number.
21?
So this is one of the 21
Wow.
jerseys, actually. Yeah.
And what was your involvement in 2008 with the winning team? Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I was actually responsible for the sponsorship. So I was working for the company CSC. So we actually funded the team, and my responsibility was actually to make sure that we got our return on that. And that investment, so making sure that all the branding was right, we put on lots of special events, things like that.
Okay, and what does that mean, getting kind of all the branding right and stuff? What does that involve in getting the sponsorship? And how do you make your money back? How do you know?
Okay, so what you do is basically like anything commercial, you're putting your logo.
Human eye can go, right?
That's right, exactly. So what you're trying to do is generate awareness for your company. So people, when they recognise the logo, they associate that whatever's happening with your brand. So it drives people towards the business as advertising.
Okay, so a bit like now we have the famous one is Team Sky at the moment in the UK. Okay,
yes, exactly.
Okay, so it's a similar thing to that. And so what do you do now that you're kind of getting all embroiled in this push for Portsmouth to get the kind of grand départ?
Yeah, well, I've come to this only recently, and I've offered my support to the team that's bidding for it. So I hope to use my experience to help the bid go forward and make it a brilliant bid, so that Portsmouth does win.
And so you live around here now, then?
I'm very local. Again, I'm very passionate about the city. I mean, I live just up the road in Horndine, so for me, this is as close as the Tour de France is ever going to get. So, I'd love to make it happen here. It'd be brilliant.
And of course, it was, as you said, in Yorkshire a couple of years ago, but it also went through Cambridgeshire, even came to London.
Yes.
Why does kind of it being the beginning, why does that matter so much? Because, I mean, couldn't it start in Leeds or Sheffield or Plymouth and just come via Portsmouth? Why does it matter that Portsmouth would be the first bit?
I think it's actually, with the Tour de France, the beginning is what people remember. They remember the beginning, and obviously they remember the end, if you like. So if you are the host city, you get a lot more publicity for the Grand Départ than you would just holding a normal stage. So that's why it's really is a major coup to get the Grand Départ.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for coming in. I wish you the best of luck with your bid, and hopefully we'll have got some more people to kind of sign up and get behind it. It's very exciting. And do kind of stay in touch and let us know how it goes.
I will. Thank you.